My next guest is Jacob Edwards, longtime friend. We have a lot of stories together. We didn't even cover some of the world travels that we've done separately, but communicated with each other. We kind of have these parallel lives in a sense that we're doing things on our own beat. You know what I mean? Like he's an artist and a wrestler. He just combines all of his passions together and created a lifestyle that's really amazing. I'm definitely doing the same thing, and it's a way to live. I think he's inspirational, and I think some of the things we talk about could be inspirational for somebody finding their place in the world. So here we go. All right, here we are with Jake Edwards, longtime friend, the only person I went to high school, actually middle school, really. We were in middle school, didn't really know you so well. But middle school, high school wrestling, Sierra College wrestling. And then we went to Sac State together. So like the longest close friendship, we've been like roommates, you know. And I want to talk about a lot of things. We can cover everything, anywhere, go in all sorts of directions. But and some people know you who are listening to this. Some people may not, or some people may only know you from a certain portion of what we might be talking about. For example, maybe just college wrestling or something. So let's go back even before we met. We really didn't meet until high school, I think, wrestling. So go back a little bit in time. The two main themes I really want to focus here on is wrestling and then art. That, of course, is what you are. So in that context, can you give me a little early childhood up until we met and how it pertained? I know you had some wrestling background. When did you know you want to be an artist? So just give us a little back date before I met you. You might
okay. Yeah. So anywho, I started wrestling when I was like 4 years old, and I had four older brothers, and it wasn't like a crazy program like they have going now. It was pretty much just like within like Gridley and Orville and Little Chico. Not a lot of cities did it.
Sure.
But we had a couple tournaments we went to, but we didn't do it year round like a lot of kids do it now. And I did other sports too, but I did football, soccer, basketball. But in high school, I did wrestling, and then I did football, I did baseball, and then I switched from baseball to track my senior year. But
did you get that Ironman award where you did 3 sports all 4 years?
I did. Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
But art has always been like my passion, in a sense, like, because I was good at it where I wasn't good at other subjects. And so it was actually my second grade teacher that noticed it and suggested I start taking these classes over in Chico from one of her friends, an old retired art teacher. And she gave art classes out from her class, and or from her house. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I remember it was every Wednesday, and I did that from second grade all the way to seventh, because then in seventh grade I got free, art at seventh grade, and I took art through seventh and eighth grade, and I took art all 4 years of high school, and then Tamori, of course, was my wrestling coach, and so it was like high school where I really started to grow with wrestling, because I like this aspect that you're in control of it. You could go as far as you wanted in it, in a sense where you didn't have to rely on a teammate. You didn't have, it was mono to mono, and I liked that, and
Ooh,
so that
flickering.
I kind of drove me in that sport. So I don't know
Yeah,
if that
I got a light flickering. No, so yeah, I mean, for those of us, or for those of anybody listening, let's talk about Dave Tamori a little bit, because I mean, he's a ninja, man. I mean, he's a judo master. I know I mean, he's a judo and then of course like third in state. So was he a mentor of some sort, like a life mentor, not just or in wrestling? Because he's also the art teacher, so he's kind of like, is there anyone else in your life that had those two passions?
not those two mixed together. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was totally like a mentor in a sense. Like I kind of remember at the moment where I came home from college, and I started as a graphic design major my first year of college, because actually I asked him right before high school was over. I asked him, well, Tamori, what should I do? And he said, graphic design is booming in the '90s,
Oh
and
yeah, definitely was. Yeah.
so I started that, and I quickly realized it wasn't for me sitting behind a desk, and I like making stuff, hands on building, and I was like, you know what? Tamori's got the life. He makes art, teaches art, coaches wrestling. I came home and I was living with Mark at that time, and the back of my mom's that side house. We're going to Butte College, and I said I'm going to go back and wrestle, and I'm going to change my major. I'm going to be an art teacher, and I even helped out with the wrestling team that year when your senior year.
Yeah.
'Cause,
To stay in
yeah,
shape. So why so you went to Sierra College in Rockland, Sacramento area, and of course we went together. I was a year behind you, but you did 1 year at Butte, and then
yeah,
but I mean, I know the story, but a little bit how because I was just kind of tagging along with you. You actually got recruited, but it was accidental because you were, was it Jacobo? You beat somebody that Coach
yeah.
Reyes was scouting, and then it was like, oh, I'll take this guy that just beat the guy that I was gonna scout to recruit. So, but tell me a little bit about that background. Because I
Uh,
was young. I just remember like, oh, you're gonna go wrestle, and I just kind of followed you. I looked up to you. You're a year older than me, and you know, I wanted to get out and get out, you know, kind of move out and
yeah, Reyes came to recruit this guy Jacobo, and Jacobo and me had a rival. I beat him once, and I pinned him, and he pinned me, and I guess I'm the only one that pinned him. And
oh,
then I came back. I actually had him pinned again that third time, but I mean, that was me. That's my opinion. But
okay.
he,
Well, it
he
didn't get called a pin, but yeah,
but that ref didn't call it because he was a big name,
yeah.
and but he was flat there for a second. But maybe he missed it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, I think you've done reffing too. It's probably better
It's tough.
not to
It's
call.
tough.
Sometimes there's probably
Yeah,
more of anger if you call a pin. That's
yeah.
give them that
And
little second benefit of the doubt. But yeah,
I
okay.
beat him, and then they announced my name, and then Coach Reyes said, "Hey, I remember that guy. He coached my brother Manton at
Oh, okay,
Saxon,
okay,
and Reyes was assistant there for Pacheco, and so he remembered, and he was like, man, he came and talked to my dad at that time, and my dad actually said Jake doesn't want to wrestle in college, but that wasn't true.
oh,
I,
you didn't even know he talked to your dad, or
and my brother told me later.
yeah, wow,
That's what kind of led me to keep training. I just had to buy a year to save up some money because
okay,
I need, because he said that if I did it, I was on my own. And
okay.
so I was
Do
kind
you know why that is? Why?
of, he did say you're going to end up like man, which man didn't end up bad or nothing. Man just took a while to get through college.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Oh wow, that's
It was
interesting.
a lot of fun. And so, but anywho, yeah. So that's what held me back a year, kind of,
Yeah,
or I would have went that first year if I would have known.
Yeah,
and I helped right off the bat.
sure,
Wish he
yeah.
could have got it for me, but it might have been good that I did stay a little bit, kind of mature. Like I don't know, but then again, I could have redshirted.
Yeah, that's what
So
I did because I redshirted my second year so I could wrestle one more year.
yeah,
Um,
I should have redshirted.
oh yeah, oh you still could have, and then yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, it's all set. It was good.
So in junior college, you had chosen. I mean, you went in. Of course, junior college is a lot of general ed, but you were already. I'm going to be an art teacher, or were you still in the graphic design, or just doing
So
art, or just doing your general ed? What was your mindset?
I switched it, I believe, when I was still at Butte.
Okay,
So I went there and got my general ed general education, whatever, and
yeah,
associates, and then I went on to Sac State and got my credential, my BA in studio art, and an emphasis in ceramics, drawing, painting, and a little bit of metal, and
okay.
uh, and so then I went another year. I got my teaching credential, K through 12, in just art. So
So yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about some of those. So after junior college, we're at Sac State. Of course, I think were we roommates in Sac State too, or did you? I don't know if I forget if you went there a year before or half a year before or whatever. But
lived at Sac State together.
what's that?
I don't think we ever lived at Sac was
Yeah,
together.
we lived in a lot of different places. Yeah, it's hard to pin down. So, uh, you were yeah, at that point you knew you wanted to be a teacher, and tell me about the student teaching program. Get like that was you were still a student at Sac State when you did a student teaching, or was that after Sac State? Like,
I had my BA, then it's a additional, it's a pretty big program or intense program for in a sense. I mean, it takes
yeah.
up a lot of time. You have to
And you're not getting paid for that student teaching, are you? Or are you?
correct. Yeah, you don't get paid. You pay pay just like a normal student for your classes.
Oh yeah, okay.
You take a lot of classes, like basically you teach all in the morning and then all the way up till lunch, and then you would jam to Sac State and then take classes all the way up till night.
Okay, wow. And
There's even a couple Saturday classes.
oh yeah.
No, it's pretty intense.
And then oh actually before we get back to that, I want to talk a little bit about landscaping because you you were an amazing landscaper. That was one of the main sources of income. I helped out with you a lot, and I'm doing that on my land here. To me, that's I'm kind of I know I gained some of your just strategies, just kind of like building. Just really was just put in a lot of work and get your hands dirty. But uh, because I'm not really handy. I'm not handy with like construction type things usually, but the landscaping, I've really I that's a part of me. Like I can that's kind of my uh area of creation or art. Um, and how did you get into that? Because as far as I'm concerned, that was your funded most of your uh university. I mean, was landscaping or
At least my my second half of it,
okay?
definitely my first half. I think wrestling kind of paid for most of it because I got like
No, I mean
free.
back in university, like
Yeah,
you were
it's just
you were making money teaching or
no. I'm just saying like that's when I started doing like landscaping stuff. Was I was at Sac State, right?
okay,
More so. That's when I gave
okay.
up doing working at uh, like Outback or
Oh,
Staples.
that's right. I remember those two. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That was good.
I gave those were the junior college era, but I was doing other stuff too. But then I realized why not just do that stuff full time? I'll make more money. And so
Yeah.
basically switched to Sac State. I was full time like a freelance, like maintenance handyman,
Yeah.
landscaper. And but yeah, I was doing pretty much like landscaping jobs, like under the table, getting paid cash. Uh,
Yeah.
of you nobody turns me in for that.
I gotta call the IRS real quick.
I
Ah.
knew.
So what I like about your story, like life story, is the connection between different passions. I think I'm also doing that, combining like my land and doing my land with the psychology and all these things. I see, you've got your wrestling and your art, but also this landscaping. And I remember at one point where you kind of transitioned from like painting and then getting really into the of sculptures. And of course you still paint the sculptures, so you kind of incorporate everything. And then a lot of what you do is actually make some sculptures for landscaping, like pieces that I know a lot of people have bought some of your art, thousands of dollars. They're like horses and lions and stuff that you Coach Reyes is some of them that I've seen them. They're amazing. I'll put a link or something to some of your work,
Thank
in this, because yeah, it's amazing stuff. So what can you give me was there like an aha moment about where like everything kind of came together with the landscaping and sculpting, which did how, yeah, or just tell me how you got into sculpting, how that became kind of your focus. You kind of made this shift at some point. I don't know if it was in university or it wasn't until later,
you.
or
Yeah, I think yeah, you're right. It kind of evolved around the Sac State era. That's where I kind of fell in love with the sculpture room. And then I was like, you know what? If then when I got into the teaching program, they had me teach one beginning art. So it was like drawing, painting, basic art at this one high school, West Campus, Sacramento Charter School. Very, very easy going, easy kids. Uh, but then the next semester I got to teach ceramics, and it was a little tough for school. Um, Anywho, but I was teaching ceramics. It was actually easier teaching than the other class before. I just had a hard time with the master teacher a little bit, but
yeah,
other than that, it was easier. And I realized there too. I was like, boy, ceramics would be the funnest job to have, because it's really, you can get kids to buy in really well.
hmm
They like the product, like you're able to sell it to them,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then they just boom, it makes it easy. And then you just gotta, the trick is to try to come up with cool projects, break those projects down to how to make them, to techniques, the
hmm
terminology, and yeah, it's fun, it's easy, and it's how I don't know if that answered that question.
yeah, yeah. No, uh, it does. And when I always like this story. I forget how it goes exactly. I know when you were doing your um that first student teaching, you were kind of at like a little rough high school, and student teachers get taken advantage of quite often because they're weaker there and stuff. But you took control of that class. Can you tell me about that? The way to win them over that first, it included throwing a chair at him. I
Oh
think that was the Sac West. Was that Sac?
no, no, that was
Camp?
actually my first year at Liberty.
Oh, okay, but didn't you? Oh, that was it. But wasn't it a tactic that you used at? Oh, you did it at. Oh, you didn't do it at. Oh, but
Never,
they knew that you came from a rough school, and
yeah,
and that's why you. Yeah, because
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
always amazed the way you handle these situations that I think, wow, like how did you not get fired or written up? But you
Well,
think
times
very.
times were a little different then too. Like I think they would have overreacted nowadays. Uh,
So
Things are a little
t-
sensitive.
tell us the story. So tell us, give us background
Yeah,
exactly
yeah, yeah,
why
yeah.
you did what you
So,
did.
so,
And all your,
so I'm trying to,
okay.
I'm gonna get right now.
All right.
So the way it happened was, and like I said, times were different, and I was fresh, I was green, I was 24 years old, and I wasn't even in the room I'm in now. I was in this old portable out in the near the baseball fields, and it was my first week of teaching, and me and another young lady got hired that same year, Miss Katie Collins, and I was eating lunch with her that day, and I told her, I said, "Hey, Katie, I'm going to throw a chair." You know, because I'd coached with you. We coached at Rio Americano, and we should talk about that a little too. Maybe I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
how
yeah, I
you
forgot about that. Yeah,
that all that,
yeah,
but anyways, I was always, you know, I coached before I became a teacher. So you know, the Barbie doll incident where you know, like I said, I was a different time. If I did that now, you'd get fired.
well, tell us about the
Uh,
Barbie doll incident. If it,
well, remember that one time we were getting kids that were getting so many owies?
yeah,
And so I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought some Barbie dolls
yeah,
and
generic Barbie dolls. Yeah,
I put it in my back pocket. And so the first kid that came up to me that day said, "Hey, I got a boo boo, or you know, got I can't wrestle my arm, you know." Blah, blah, blah."
yeah,
I just pulled that Barbie doll right out. I said, "Hey, you go play in the corner with that."
yeah,
Now I'm cool. I'll go practice,
yeah,
and it made it tougher.
yeah,
And
yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, that group. And in fact, that actually runs into a story that this guy Dan that own, owns the Emporium now down the street from my house.
Emporium,
Uh,
what's that?
it's a real nice bar,
Oh, okay.
and he goes, "Are you Jake Edwards?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're my coach at Rio Americano." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah." And he remembered me. He goes, "Yeah, I remember Chris." He goes, "You guys were crazy." He goes, "You guys made us tough that year." And then he said he started bragging to the other customers about us. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool. Made me feel good.
yeah. No,
Real nice.
it is. Imagine all the. I mean, yeah, you
But
definitely can
well,
change people growing up in.
off to the chair thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But basically, the moral story there is that I coached it a lot. So this was a coaching strategy,
yeah.
and so I told Katie that I'm gonna throw a chair, and so I
What did she say? How did she react? She said, like, what?
I
Like that?
talking about, and I said, well, I said they're gonna get crazy. It's Friday. I go, I'm gonna lose control of them. I know I am because I'm already losing control of them.
Yeah,
And what I'm gonna do is it's probably I'm gonna lose control of them like towards the end, like the last 20, 30 minutes. And I'm gonna throw a chair and I'm gonna throw it across the room. It'll hit the bookshelf and then they'll get scared. And then I'll just say, you know, let's get back to work. And it's psychological. And then she goes, "Well, you better not go pick up the stuff right after." Come on, Katie, you know better. I'm not gonna do that.
yeah.
And so you I I did it, but it didn't happen the last 20 minutes. It happened the first 20 minutes of class. They're
Oh,
acting crazy.
oh, right off the get go. Yeah, Fridays. I know how Fridays are. Yeah,
Well, I threw that chair and it worked. And they were just drawing their little hearts out all period. And then, of course, the next Monday came and the art chair came in and kind of said, "Oh, I heard about it, blah, blah, but I like it. You're good." And then one of the VPs came in and said, "Hey, I know you taught in a rough area in Sacramento, but this is a different clientele. You can't be doing that, blah, blah."
yeah,
But oh, really? Just kind of got a slap on the wrist.
yeah,
Nowadays, I would probably been fired easily.
yeah. And well, and what's good is that kind of sets your bar. Like now they know who you are. They kind of you
What
maybe
happened?
get away because I know you. I mean, it seems like you. I don't want to say get away with that. I think it's good, but I know you said some people tried to emulate you, other teachers, and they weren't able to because they're not you. They're not the art teacher. everyone kind of looks at you as like that's how you're gonna do it, and it works.
Yeah, 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 like things work exactly. That works for everybody. Things work for some people that don't work.
Yeah.
Uh, but by the end of that class, because that year we were on a 4x4 schedule, so I had those same kids every day for an hour and a half. So it made it like a college course. We were done by Christmas time, and so you get like a year of class done by in a semester. Now we do A B. So that's straight. It's
Okay.
better.
Yeah.
But but anyways, so we are right before Christmas. This one kid that missed it, he came in later. He got enrolled later in the class. He goes, and the class realized my how I was. And anyways, I had a good rapport with him. And one of them goes, "Hey, Edwards, I never saw you throw that chair." And I said, "Oh." He goes, "Why don't you throw it right now? It's our last day. Come on." I go, "Oh, I can't do that. I got in trouble for that." He goes, "Throw the and then the whole class just started chanting it. No, not chair. No, not. And it just so I picked up a chair and I chucked it across the room.
Yeah.
But so, I
Yeah.
did that different.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah. But there's now I remember there's a couple times I hung out with you, and you invited me to your class, and yeah, and so I got to watch you magic, and yeah, I was just, yeah, amazed at your whole system. I mean, you've got your studio that you're able to create art and do all these things, and then the way you handle the class, you show them what to do, and then you kind of go back and stuff. But yeah, it was one, you've got these certain phrases that you use, and one of them I'm not even sure what it is, but I don't know if you still use it. But it was fairy cat. I remember you told called one of the kids a fairy cat. Now I think, is fairy cat a real animal, like a weasel or a meerkat or something?
I
Or
don't know.
I mean, because
Or,
I hear the word fairy, which sounds like that's what I, when you call fairy cat, it sounds like
well,
Sissy Lala or something. And so, but nobody
yeah,
ever
kind
uh
of is like a like toughen up phrase. But I actually stopped using it when in 2016 when I stopped coaching.
oh, okay, so
I,
that was more of a, yeah, that's another thing you do, kind of, your classes like the way you coach, and we get a little bit more, I think you get a little bit more.
since I stopped coaching in 2016, I stopped saying that. But now you'd be in trouble if you said that.
So, yeah, so that's I guess that's what I want to get into, because I think the educational system has changed a lot, and you have a unique perspective because it's basically been nonstop since you were in elementary school. I mean, you've been in school, so not only you can compare what uh, the education system, what the students are like now compared to your childhood, but also in the last 2 decades, you saw the changes. So, uh, are there, yeah, tell me some of the changes that have gone over just in the last 20 years, not even reflecting back to when you were a child, but just from when you first started. It's gotten softer. I mean, there's
Uh,
more rules on you, it sounds like, or
I think
more.
I think cell phones basically is. I would if I had it because there's a lot of things that have changed,
Mhm.
but I would have to say cell phones have kind of changed our youth. I think,
Okay. Okay. Well,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
they're kind of they love their phones. I think that's in every culture.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of ranked. I think, yeah, it's changed kids a lot. I think, uh, some for the better, some for not so better.
Yeah. So are they allowed to? Are there school policies? Because I teach Chinese kids online, and they're real strict. There's no way they can even bring a phone to class. Are there?
Some teachers are more strict about it. They have pouches, they collect them.
Mm,
But I'm all over the place. I'm just so scared. This I don't know. It's just not worth it. And I
yeah.
just let them keep it if they want to be on their phone that much. it's clay too. If you're not, and that mean if you're playing on your phone, that means you're not working. And
Yeah.
so you pick your battles.
Yeah.
Basically, I've
Yeah.
learned
Yeah. So
my
the other issue, I guess, with cell phones would be recording and posting. I'm sure somebody's posted some. Has anybody posted something you did or you said that tried to make you
uh,
look bad or could be like controversial or something? Or has that ever happened?
no, nothing except for this year. I did get I had a kid give me a haircut, but I paid for it. And he's really good at giving haircuts. And he gave me a
Yeah.
haircut. And some kid videotaped it, or some of it. I don't know what they did. I didn't ever even saw it, but I heard it went viral, kind of.
Yeah.
With school,
Within
school
yeah.
little
Yeah. Yeah.
community.
Everybody saw it. Yeah.
And every period, I had someone say, "Oh, you got a haircut, Edwards?" Huh?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh, well, that's kind of cool then. So, well, what almost seems good that you actually paid him money and he did it during a class time.
yeah,
And then, so, I got to get into a little bit of that little side hustle that you do, or used to do, or you still do. I mean, you used to do some, I mean, you would actually have barbecues, sell like tri-tip sandwiches. I know you bought big boxes of candy, sell them in class. That just seems difficult on so many levels. I mean, you're actually collecting money, selling candy, they're eating during class. Sometimes students would even leave from other classes to come and buy something, but you were able to pull that off, it seems like.
yeah. Different times, I think too. I think they're a lot more lenient with it. There's a lot of teachers that did it. I was, I know there is a lot of teachers that still probably do it. Now it's picking back up. I haven't got back on it. I think it's just too much work.
Yeah.
Uh, I also ran the gamers club too, so it did help out for their club.
What's
I
it at?
I I ran the video gamers club during lunch. I did that for like
Oh, okay. They come into
12.
class and play, or come into the room and
They'd come
talk,
into my
or
room.
actually play games.
They play video games on my TVs during class during,
Oh, perfect.
and
And
so
sell snacks.
actually run the snack bar and they get 25%, and then the other 25 or other percentage would go towards my art class. So
Okay. Okay. So, uh, let's talk a little bit. So you still have time. We've got 5 minutes on this, but you can click
yeah.
and then we'll connect. So when we come back, actually, I want to pull up like your Instagram maybe and look at some of the art. But let's kind of finish this, and we'll get into that new kind of moving forward in the future and what's next. Is there anything else about like this like now you're what I mean, you're not wrestling. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about wrestling so much. You're not you coach wrestling for over what, 10, 15 years?
15 years total, 11 years at Liberty, the school I teach at still. And then I refereed for 4 years.
And you're still refereeing?
No, I gave that up to do my art full time, my personal art.
Okay, so this is the first time since you were 4 years old that wrestling's not a part of your life?
Yeah, since I really got out of it officially, 2020 was my last year, so I did it. Yeah, for a long time.
Did you join a jiu-jitsu club or something? I mean, don't you need that? I mean, you look cut, you still look strong. I mean, obviously just working on the land, or
I did jiu
I know you do
for three,
bike riding.
but but now I just do a push-up routine and a little squat routine. I do the 90 steps.
Okay. Okay.
Just a little. It's like a 40-minute workout.
One of those prison workouts, burpees and
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Okay. All right. All right. Nice, nice, nice. Oh wait. Well, oh, whoa. Oh, okay. So, uh, yeah, let's, yeah, since, yeah, I'm looking right now at this thing and it's just this countdown, it's just like looking at me. So it's making me nervous. Let's just log out and then log back in.
Okay.
click that same button and we'll come back in. All right. All right. All right. All right. So yeah, there's so much. There's actually so much. I mean, we have some and there's stories. There's so many stories to tell. And we're gonna mention something about because we wrestled, we coached together for a little bit over at
Real Americano.
Americana. Yeah. Was there any specific story that made that? I mean, that was an interesting time in life. Of course, we were partying harder in those days, of course, and some pretty intense things. I mean, I remember for me, I wasn't even allowed to be coaching because I just had that DUI with possession of a controlled substance and contributing to the delinquency of a minor, which for the record wasn't the case because they happened to have some things in their bag, and they after when I got pulled over and they pulled me out and they were doing all the things that they dumped all their stuff. So but I mean, I was 19, there's 17 and 18-year-old with me, but that looked bad. So I was under the so it was already like I wasn't even supposed to be there officially, but I was doing it, and we were pretty much doing it. Of course, there's the head coach guy did the paperwork with he had his fake broken neck, and then John, of course, rest his soul, who'd get in there, but he wasn't able to be there every day. So yeah, how did you get into that? Because you were doing that a year before I joined the team.
Yes, Reyes got me a part of that.
Okay.
Because his son, Jesus, I think it is. Yeah, he wrestled for them, but he wasn't there when I was there. When I came on it, he had graduated already, but then they needed help, so that's when he got me on. That's how I met John. Then I brought you on the next year.
Yeah, that's okay. That's then and so from all right, so wrestling. So right now, what I mean, do you go to do you watch do you still go to like NCAA tournaments, or have you kind of just
I went not this last year, but the year before I went in oh boy, where did I hold it at? I can't remember where it was at. I'm sorry. I've been to so many.
yeah.
But yeah, it went 2 years ago. Yeah.
So if so yeah, I want to move on to talking more about your art and stuff. But is there any story that jumped out that you want to share about anything?
Oh,
I feel like I skipped over some things. Maybe there anything about landscaping, wrestling,
well, the
something.
landscape was a huge foundation too. Like it was a building block, but like in the wrestling, they're all like people always say wrestling and art, oh, it doesn't go well together. Or didn't go, they didn't say it that way. They said they thought it was weird. Let's say that's
Yeah,
what they thought.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Maybe it was. I don't think so because it's hands on.
Yeah, people say the same thing about philosophy and martial arts. I'm like, what? That's like perfectly goes together. But yeah,
Yeah, so it allowed me the wrestling taught me my work ethic for sure. Like
yeah,
when that motto, especially like nowadays when I'm building these big sculptures, like I got I wake up and I do get pumped up on it because you see the progress, and as you're getting towards the end, you really start getting pumped up on a big sculpture because you're like, oh wow, I'm almost done. You see it all coming together.
yeah,
But beginning sometimes it was actually some of the hardest times, like the beginning of building something big or anything. But really, when you're building something big, is the tough part of keeping your motivation on it. But I think wrestling taught me that. Like I just
okay,
kind of grind down, and I've trained myself actually to wake up early. So I put in so many hours before
Mm,
my real job, my teaching job, and then I'll put in hours after my teaching job
yeah,
and then making up the time. And then and I've learned to work fast. And but anyways, then the wrestling, the landscaping taught me stuff about like different mediums such as concrete, building walls, irrigation, um, just and even dealing with different mediums of such as like different gravels. Um, yeah, taught me a lot of stuff like different ideas that I've accumulated or evolved into my art now. And so like I'm always trying to think of something new, I guess.
yeah. And so yeah, you visited me in Thailand more than anybody by far, and and I know you kind of would take back some things that you or you were inspired, not necessarily learned from here, but you saw things. Uh, what were some of those type of techniques that you picked up on over here, or you kind of incorporated, spun it your own way?
So like I think it was 2013, summer of 2013. That was that first summer I stayed there for 7 weeks.
I was still living
And
in Shillong, right? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I rented a place there in Shillong, their old place.
Yeah.
And so I rented that place, and I remember just passing by this place in Phuket a lot with their tiger place, and they're building a tiger. And I saw they're building it. I was thinking, wow, it's pretty cool. Like there's kind of, I was thinking of ways I could kind of do that, and that's what really sparked how I built these big sculptures with the kids. Um, I
So so let
incorporated.
are those let's I'm gonna pull up now. I am this is a podcast. Some people are only going to maybe hear this, so I don't want to depend too much on these pictures, but I'm gonna share my screen maybe so you'll really have to describe stuff as if somebody doesn't even see it too, just in case somebody is so I'm gonna pull up your Instagram here and it is there so is it do you want to pick one of these two? I mean, look at these things. These are amazing. I mean, there's your tiger. I mean, these are, I
These
mean,
are
yeah,
all my.
when we say sculptor, if you just said sculptor, somebody's going to think clay. I think these are not there. You incorporate a lot of things. So let me just take one of these recent ones kind of, I mean, there's, that's actually a video too. Let me,
Oh,
well,
Honda
actually,
gun.
what's that?
It's a Honda gun spider. I
Wait,
sold that one.
which one?
Honda gun spider. I just sold it.
Oh, yeah. How much?
Uh, 2000.
Nice one. Wait, the spider. Oh, this guy right here. This one right here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so, okay, so here, yeah, okay. So there's you did you teach yourself welding? Did you do welding before
Yeah.
or
I was taught by Jamie Boucher and Brian Pulley at the
okay, so
TI.
back in high school.
Yeah, for a summer
Okay.
job. Taught me how to use the kind of welder I use now, just the wire feeder.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then I've done the stick welding too. I did it in an art welding class, and I did okay on it, but I don't really like dealing with all the gas and stuff. Um, so I just do the sloppy, but I cover it up with my secret epoxy,
So
and give it all that.
are you willing to share a little bit about because I know that you're the only one doing that and that's to
Yeah, I'll tell a little bit. It's just an epoxy that a friend got me onto, and it's a real strong epoxy that they use to patch boats primarily.
okay.
And anyways, I give it all these different textures on different, well, depending on what I'm making. Um, yeah, this is my front yard. At one point, I have
Oh wow, yeah.
I sold that one, the spider. This one I still have. It's in my front yard right now. The
That's
the
huge.
grasshopper,
On the scorpion, everything. Wow, that's
the scorpion I just sold too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So I mean, you could easily, I'm gonna go ahead and you could break away from teaching and just sell art, perhaps. Um, is that something you think you'll do anytime
Um,
soon, or any or is that something you want to do, or
yeah, actually I do. It's just a matter of timing. I kind of want to see what's going to happen with the economy in a little bit here. Kind of scary times. So right now, yeah, I'm just kind of buckling down. I'm just still teaching. I got a good gig going.
yeah, yeah, no,
De- Definitely figuring out. I'm producing more art, getting faster at it. I'm about to start something big here after they finish this custom railing I'm working on in San Francisco. Once I
custom
finish,
railing.
yes,
Is that something you make there on site? That doesn't sound like
yeah,
something. Okay,
yes.
okay.
Making a custom railing right now for the Greg Angelo Museum in San Francisco. They were on actually Netflix.
Wow. So you'll
For
have to bring your equipment there and actually make it on the spot, or are you gonna
correct.
make it here and then assemble it there, or how much?
Some of it I prepped, but I
Mhm.
pretty much assembled it all there.
Wow.
Done
No.
it. This is going to be my fifth day tomorrow. I've got a lot done in 4 days. Unbelievable
Yeah.
what I've got done. I've really put in some extra hours, and then on last week on Thursday, I drove my grasshopper and with my magnets on my truck for advertisement
Oh,
when I
nice.
went.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how does that go? I mean, I showed you, yeah, there's some pictures of here when you have some of these art pieces in the back of your truck, which that's the Green Hornet. I just got a car. I named it the Black Hornet. That you got that car in high school and it's still running. Let me just pull that up for the people that anybody that is watching this. Right there, top one. Yeah, I mean that's the Green Hornet. Still in good.
yeah,
Oh, there. So that's that magnet right there.
uh,
So you've got your
uh,
phone number.
yeah. Sad news tonight. It's not broken or nothing, but and it could go many years still. But the guy just said it got diagnosed with I think the gaskets things. It needs like a rebuild of the engine. It's
Yeah,
something
and it
he
might
said
not be worth.
it's starting to go.
Well, I gotta ask, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna? I mean,
I was
if
gonna keep riding it till it goes out,
and
but
then you'd get another
I'm
pickup truck just like it, a newer model, or
I'll have to get something a little newer, and I'm gonna get something where I can uh like a little lift kit to help me lift the sculptures. A little they have these I don't know the name of them.
okay,
Uh, but anywho,
like on the back,
it's
like it
like a
actually
little
like the tailgate goes down and it lifts up.
I could get that type. I think yeah, that there's that one, but there's also this other one where it's
Ramp.
like it's like a crane, little mini crane,
Oh wow.
and it has a strap, and then you can wrap it around your object, and then you can swing it. You know what I'm saying? And it's on a pole. It's hard to
Okay.
explain.
No, no, that so oh there's Elijah Rainey. I'm gonna get him up here. Oh, you replied. So did oh Boucher, good old Jamie Boucher named that rig, and now so he's responsible for naming mine Black Hornet. Even my son now, Chaya, he calls everything that looks. He'll call cars Hornets with the colors. There's a red Hornet, white Hornet. So that's really passed on that phrase. So um anyway, yeah, that's I mean that's an iconic car by all means. It's done a lot. I mean, that was doing all the landscaping. I got to tell one story because you're telling some stories. One of the I mean, it was so terrifying. I remember going to those or what you did, but it was I commend you on it. Is going to in the morning, we'd go do the landscaping sometimes. And of course, you'd take me, it was your gig, but you'd pay me, you'd pay me by the hour for that. And I'd try to take a nap on the way to like we'd wake up because we'd have class sometimes early. So we'd go like 6, 5 a.m., something really early to get a few hours. And then, of course, it's like a half hour to Folsom or wherever we're going. And I'm trying to take a little nap, but you're sleepy too. So you wanted me to stay up to make sure you stayed up. And then I remember you did it like 3 times in one day where you'd like kind of fling your arm across and honk your horn and scream. And I would wake up in this terrified state that we were in a car accident. And then I'd fall asleep, and you did it a couple times in a row. And then I started getting the hang of it and stopped napping. So that was and that's all on the Green Hornet. Do you remember doing that?
Nah, dude, that sounds just like my dad though.
Oh, that's probably where you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, he did it to me a couple times. It wakes you up.
Oh, it
It's
wakes
like
you up.
espresso.
You dream like you have it before you wake up. You have it incorporates in your dream that you're waking up from an accident, and then it takes you a little while to orient yourself and realize that everything's okay.
My dad would do it too. Like, so he'd wait till a car was coming, but he would pull off onto the off, so the off line, so that white line's in the middle, so it looks like you're in the middle of the road.
Oh yeah.
And do it right there.
And what about the other car would notice, or he's honking the horn or anything, or
my dad would be pulling off this way, so he's a what more further away from him.
okay.
Even.
So, but did they honk the horn at him or
no?
no? Okay, okay. I mean, because when you did, I think you honked the horn. So I mean, that would have scared the opposite people, thinking like, "Wait, why is that person honking at me?" But I don't know if you did, but what? Yeah, I don't. I mean, in my mind, it was just so much more horrific. I guess I visualized us spinning and everything. Just eating. It goes into your dream. So, one other thing you mentioned. I mean, you mentioned because yeah, I've been out of America. It seems like I I don't have TV or cable or anything, but I have the internet, and I mean, there's clips and stuff people post. I just like getting an idea of what has come of America. You mentioned the like economy is a little shaky. I mean, I know a lot of things are shaky, politics and wars and all these, ever since all that COVID bullshit was just like things got weird. What kind of what does it look like now on the ground? Like on the ground, like I have access to like what I see on social media and stuff, but like,
yeah,
how do you feel as far as like, are we
think
moving
it's
out
pretty
of that?
Cool. I'm kind of out of the element. It like I don't. My class is lucky; it doesn't really bring up politics.
Nice.
I keep that out of it. The thing I have noticed, though, a lot of kids don't stand for the flag is that much anymore. That hurts. I've even given talks, and it just doesn't seem like it changes, and that's crazy. There is a big thing going through, and it's either coming through. It could be coming through the teachers, but it's also coming through, I think, social media.
Yeah.
They hate the country.
Yeah, no, that's interesting too, because that's happening in Thailand, even, and it's even connected to new prime minister who might not get the position, and whether it's these Marxist ideologies or whatever to break cultures. I've noticed it, and every country has a different thing that's important to them. Like in Thailand, it's not about, in America, it's kind of like the Constitution and everything. That's what, if you take away that, you don't have anything to stand on anymore. And in Thailand, of course, it's the king. It's still even it's a democratic monarchy. So it's like, it doesn't matter what it is, but they're trying to attack it. They're trying to attack the monarchy, and I think it is social media. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's, and then you start seeing a breakdown of society. I guess out of all the things, because religious aspects, there's political aspects, but the thing that I feel the way to really damage a society is family values. So whether it's, you know, Christian family values or Islamic family values or Buddhist family values here, which are actually taught in school here, I feel like there's an attack on family values. So just without, I mean, of course that goes into politics and religion, but just not talking about religion or, yeah, how are how have family values changed in the last decade or so?
I would say uh, a little bit, lot less, like more broken families, I guess, probably.
Do you like do the students are they do you hear them? I mean, because that's what's crazy. I mean, about your job, you can kind of eavesdrop. I mean, and you're probably pretty comfortable. Do you kind of hear what type of conversations go on? And that's a class that you can talk in because, you know, they're going to talk. I remember when I had a ceramics class and we talk about everything, and you know, with the things that, yeah, how has the dialogue changed? Are do you feel?
Um, it's kind of the same. My class kind of attracts a certain type of kids, kind of
Yeah,
a dumping for certain types of kids.
yeah,
Uh, the conversations are similar. They haven't changed a whole lot. Um,
about like, I mean, so this is about the party, like what party they went to last night, or like gossip about what student or girlfriends or boyfriends or
uh,
stuff like that, or are they talking about like,
race, the like urban, that's something kind of crazy because we're like our generation saying that's racist and stuff, or much, but like
yeah,
that's like common to say. Like I hear kids say that a lot. They go, "That's racist."
are they
It's,
they're so I mean, one thing that's I think the ultimate like
it's like they've
uh
been bringing it up a lot. The more you bring it up, the more it's like it's been shoved down your throat. Social media,
yeah,
Hollywood.
I, I've heard some weird things about like I mean, it's weird when I get on social media sometimes because I don't have access to what's going on. People will say things, it's just like where's this coming from? Like I didn't uh I just recently saw these things, like, because I don't, you know, I didn't want to get vaccinated. If somebody wants to get vaccinated, they can get vaccinated or something. And then all of a sudden there's people like saying like, you're killing people if you don't get vaccinated. I was like, whoa, what? Like, I thought it was my body, my choice. I think I had no idea there was even a dialogue about going on. Like I've never got the flu shot. I'm not gonna get like shots for like if I'm confident in my immune system. But then the funny thing is that somehow that was racist, because I guess it's because it showed that there was they said black people are more susceptible to COVID, therefore you not getting your vaccination is racist or something ridiculous. And so some of those stuff are ridiculous to such an extreme extent. And but at the same time, now I'm kind of starting to see uh people come out of that and it's getting better. Would you say so? I guess, is it improving, or is it still on the downhill? I mean, are people starting to wake up to like, okay, we're going a little too far?
Yeah. I think at least, yeah, I would say so. I think kids are starting to wake up on it. At least from my kid world I live in.
Yeah. Well, no, that I mean, kids are our future, and you have a unique
But
uh
but there's still some weirdness. Like I said,
yeah.
like kids still don't like the standing for the flag thing is really weird. Like I'm not lying. Like I have 30 kids, 34 kids in a class.
Yeah.
So like 14 to 10 that don't. One third of them
What do
don't.
they do during that time? Do they talk, or do they sit down silently, or do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Um,
Some talk though.
yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's
And I remember I'll never forget that. That was the first I think that's the first time I taught. Yeah, it was. the first time I taught at Thailand when they were teaching the little kids
Oh yeah, yeah,
and went out to sing the national anthem. And that one kid, they're all singing. They stand in a line, they're singing. And that kid, I thought he was singing fine. I didn't notice, but I guess he wasn't singing it right. And the Thai teacher came by and smacked him with a bamboo stick right in the back of the legs.
yeah, yeah,
And he sang his little heart out. He had to thank her for it too.
yeah. Oh no, that is funny. Yeah, no, I mean, I love Thai culture. I mean, it's different. I don't think it would, I think every culture has that. Yeah, it's an attack on culture. I think, like, yeah, I don't know if that would work in America, but they have more of a, they definitely have more respect. But that is, like I said, recently it is under attack here. I mean, people like defaming the monarchy and stuff that just doesn't, that was unheard of before. Um, and so I mean, things are getting uh weird, but in some ways it does make some things stronger. Kind of like a pendulum swinging back and forth, um, where could go extreme the other way. I think any extreme kind of thing, it's got to get pushed back. So I mean, I think, I guess, just from my perspective, it's so weird to see some of the stuff going down, like things that, I mean, biological men competing in like female sports is just so, like, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a parody. And then I mean, like, I didn't think that was really something reasonable. So I mean, if you're comfortable, is there anybody? Are there any? And I mean, of course, like lady boys. I've probably got stories maybe more than I'd like to discuss about lady boys, but I mean, like it's something that is actually, it's not like a big deal to people who are gay or people who even want to be the other sex. But I see, like, I see from, like, again, social media perspective, I don't talk to anybody that actually is like promoting like any sexualization of like children. Like, it doesn't matter even if it's heterosexual or anything, but I'm seeing that there's a push in school. Is that really going on? I mean, like at your school, where they're like pushing for people to like identify, and like, I'm so against pharmaceuticals and stuff. So even like identifying or wanting to be called a girl wearing dresses or whatever is like, doesn't really seem to be an issue. But when we like actually like take pharmaceuticals that will disrupt our hormone balance, that are, definitely going to be difficult. So yeah, just in general, has that hit your school at all?
Not that I know of.
So it's not like a, like being so, yeah, because I've seen, have you seen some of that stuff online where they're like showing videos of I mean, just sexual videos on anything, but then they're like transgender. They're trying to let people know that if you want to identify as the other sex, it's okay. So I mean, there's like, I mean, there's an aspect
Yeah,
of it is that actually going on that you
yeah.
know?
Uh, I believe there's a law now. They can keep it a secret from the parents.
Yeah, that's so
They
terrible.
there's the case in Chico that it went viral. I don't know if you saw that one.
I didn't, but I know it's California. California's
And
is leading it on the.
the lady exploded on a district at a board meeting.
Yeah,
It's pretty.
yeah, that's so. Yeah, to think that we could lose the. I mean, yeah, just any. I mean, that I even heard they were trying to pass a law where the I think it would be like in a broken home where somebody could lose custody if they weren't uh okay with issuing all these like whatever it is, breast binding for girls, or drugs and stuff like that are completely reasonable to not want your child to do, but you can lose custody of your child if you weren't going to do whatever they say is what this kid needs. They said that they need to pump them with all these hormones to affirm their whatever they call it, like to affirm what they say. If they say they are a different gender than they are, and these are of course children who, in any other case, we don't let them just do drugs because they say they want to do drugs, or stay out all night. So it's um so weird. And of course, as a so I mean, you're also a parent as well. So I mean, are you worried about there being any of these ideologies that are going on behind the scenes that you don't know? How do you take pre-measures to make sure that nobody's trying to corrupt your daughter?
Um, just try. I hope not, and I'm just try to get involved as much as I can. Find I know her teachers. She has the same teacher. Uh,
Yeah,
but yeah, and then also being that my kid's autistic, uh, they're actually they're more prone to being. They go.
oh,
That's what I've been.
influence.
Yeah,
They're going to be, yeah, because they're more trusting, I think, in general.
yeah. They say a huge percentage of the people at these protesters are autistic because they get all fired up. They get them all dialed in on their topic, and and yeah, and they're confused a lot of
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
And yeah, that's what I mean. I believe that's probably what's so that's part. So that part of it does worry me. This I had a lady tell me all this stuff, and then so I actually looked it up,
hmm,
and it is true. There is a huge percentage of autistic kids that get involved
yeah,
with the transgender stuff because they're confused.
yeah. No, yeah, that is concerning. I remember, yeah, that's like,
They're the ones that are at these big rallies and stuff. They get them all riled up, and they can't. And if you look at them, you can tell.
yeah.
So
I mean, so you're near. I mean, you're in Bay Area near San Francisco. There's a lot. I mean, I've seen so there's not. I again, this is like social media sites. I see homeless fentanyl epidemic has. I mean, you go to San Francisco sometimes, or or
yeah,
are those areas where I mean I don't know. I've been in San
well,
Francisco a lot, and smoked some crack from some hookers and stuff. This is like I mean it's always been kind of uh crazy there. Is there more of an epidemic than there already was?
well, it's I would say it's worse than it's ever been. And the fact the whole mall, remember the mall, uh, like on the you take the BART down that big mall downtown, right out of the BART, you get out. There's a like mall that's like
Yeah,
underground. I think.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's all going out of taken off. They don't want anything to do with it anymore. So
Because
that's
of
gonna
what? Because
sell. They're not gonna rent those buildings anymore.
is it
So
because
they'll be
of homeless, or because of riots, or because of
everything homeless, burglary. Everybody just looting
oh
now, like
wow,
especially a lot of these places because they don't really have a lot of laws in San Francisco about the robbery stuff. Like they can't do anything.
oh
The
okay,
the
yeah,
the criminals have more rights.
yeah,
So
kind
just
kind of
just
like the
walk.
Gap, right? But we kind of
What's
took
up?
advantage. Remember the Gap? We were allowed to like go in, but that was a long time ago. But I guess yeah, I've seen stuff where they can. Then now they're just like taking. I mean, I remember like going in a changing room where you can like put stuff on, you could walk out, and not to incriminate myself, but uh, they're
I
not
never did.
allowed. They weren't allowed to like confront you about stealing stuff, but
Uh,
now it's even gone crazy where you can just like you could accuse somebody of taking something and they can violently attack you and get off or something.
uh,
It's crazy. So
crazy.
So yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff. It's interesting to talk about the changes going on. I think there will be some big changes. Me personally, I feel that things are getting better. Like I feel like the it's more because we're silenced a lot. I mean, that's one of the reasons this podcast, like I'm not even gonna put it on YouTube because I don't even know what I might say that they don't like, or Facebook or anything. I'm keeping my Facebook and my YouTube and my Instagram as like personal like life, family, cool things, making food, some stuff like that. And then any conversation that might mention something, it's just going to be on this Spotify and Rumble and Twitter, basically, because there's just been this attack on anybody speaking out. However, I do feel like it's finally there are more people speaking up, because I feel like a lot of people just didn't really care. They didn't really say anything. They just kind of went along with it. They didn't want to cause any trouble, and then it's gone too far. I think it's really the children. Like, children are getting involved, and that's kind of the red line. Like,
Yeah,
a lot of people. So I feel like it's getting better, but or like there's a pushback finally. Of
think a bit. They had it's a little pushback. The media is so corrupt, though. It's so one sided. You can't believe any of this. Even Fox News, they're all bought off by Democrats.
But does people? I mean, like, do you have cable? Does anybody even? I mean, I see clips on like YouTube or something, but it's like most of the stuff I watch and listen to are just other outlets that are.
I get most of mine from Instagram on like real news, fake news outlet, something like that, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's more real, and this other one, it's way real, and it actually show like all the stuff that Biden's son did and stuff. He should be in jail.
Oh yeah, that's so ridiculous.
Dad should be in jail too for treason. He even was bragging about how he probably sold off a lot of our secrets.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's beyond. It's so bad that it's
that's why it's so corrupt. That's why they're after Trump, because he's like the last hope. He's even I think even I've actually grown to like him a lot more.
Oh yeah, I didn't like him now. Although there is RFK Jr. Have you?
I like him too.
I like him. I would love to see him, and I actually like Vivek Ramaswamy.
They might shoot him though.
Oh, he's so endangered, so endangered. The only thing is, if they did, it could wake up some other people. And I think that's the thing. I think there are other voices. I think there's enough people that are actually on the same page that I don't think they can stop it. I think there's you still have time. We got a minute left. Do you want to do one more round? Same link?
Okay.
You good? All right, let's do it. Let's keep talking. All right, click back in. All right, so we're back. Yeah, now this round. We'll do this if we still can. Yeah, we got like 40 minutes. If or if you need to go earlier, we can wrap it up. But there's so a little bit about I want to do this. I want to keep having. I want my regulars. So if you enjoy this, get just having it. I mean, this is kind of like my connection, because I'm out here living in the wilderness, and to be able to connect to everybody and have conversations, and then other people will watch our conversations. I'm not trying to get like a huge following of people that maybe it's just the people that know us, but I think any of our friends that know both of us are probably gonna be a little interested. Hey, let's see what they have to say, and then that might spark some conversation. But I don't know if I did mention this in one of my podcasts, but I don't know if I told you specifically that I'm trying to create eventually I want to get off the whole social media thing, but this is like 20 years from now, and just kind of built. So I'm building my sanctuary here, of course, which you've come and seen. And but I think if I have this like connection to who knows how, I mean, like social media is going to change. It's probably going to be like virtual worlds, you know, you be able to like come on the land and I could like walk you around. Even if you weren't here, we'd be like holograms. Who knows what becomes, but I'm definitely looking to do that. And yeah, eventually what I like to do is have like in that is just have this place is like a place that people come and stay just for uh, um, a month or weeks or a couple, and we just bullshit for the whole time and kind of live off the land. And the idea would be to be off grid without, you know, and you can kind of escape all the political bullshit, all the social media, everything. And so in a way, I'm using social media now to try to get my word out. Maybe I'll gather some people that are interested that I don't actually already know. But I think I've got a big enough group of friends, just of the people that I know, that we can kind of have this. I'm thinking of like a annual meeting, like an annual little get together. I'd probably do it like in December and January. That it would be the real good weather. Again, this is like 20 years from now, so you know, I think our generation will, everybody will be have retired and free kind of to do it. So I do it during those best you know, months here where it's cool, crisp, clean air, not raining. But what do you think about that?
Yeah, I like that idea.
You'll come and join. I don't know. We'll call it something. I want to do like, yeah, make it an annual thing where we do something. You know, who knows? Maybe grow some shrooms or something, and do some sort of spiritual transcendence. Catch some snakes or something, some big old pythons. I saw another python, yeah. But it got away. Dude, I saw it actually in this other area, but I saw it. We saw it when we were on a walk, and then it went towards our land. And I woke up early one morning because Guppy, one of my cats, always sleeps here at the office. My house is over, you know, about 50 yards away. And then I woke up with this just like worried that about the snake was on my land. And I walked out and I saw it. It was actually looking at my cat. She was up. She was pretty far away. I don't know if it would have been able to get her because it would have had to come up pretty far. But she was watching it. And then, and I didn't even know. As soon as I saw her looking at it. And then I got closer, and then the snake just scurried away, and I haven't seen it back since. So what?
Python?
Yeah, one of those reticulated pythons. It was a little smaller, but than the ones I've caught. But of course, that's because it's looking for food. So it was so those are some yeah, those are things going on here. But I'm creating this thing. I'm doing some really things. I think about you a lot of the times when I'm making some stuff, because I just use your philosophy of like kind of creating things. So I've got this new thing I'm building, like the walls. I might have talked a little bit about it, but it's kind of getting created in real time. I'm going to make these like earthen walls. Right now, I've been cutting, because I have this electric chainsaw now, that this like battery operated. It's really light. It's really easy to chop down trees. And now that I have a lot of other trees that are growing, because when I bought this land, it was the orchard of those lummi, and there's too many of those, and it's not actually the natural trees that were in this habitat. I'm planting fruit trees and some of these like canopy jungle trees, and I'm cutting those old trees down and using their branches to make this wall, and then I stuff it with like dirt and clay during the dry season. After like in November, December, I'm gonna get these truckloads of clay. So it's only like $30-40. You can get this big old truckload of clay, sand. I can buy these bales of hay, and I'm going to just make these adobe and stuff them in the cracks of these stick walls that I have. And then I'm going to put seeds in there and put some patches of grass and flowers and ferns. So it's just going to be like this big old mound. And I think about you too in our landscaping days. Yeah, that's what I'd like to have. Yeah, just like in the future, it just like,
yeah,
could kind of help create some of these artistic walls that I'm doing. Just take a corner or something and just do whatever you want to do with it.
How's the weather right now?
The weather's better now. The worst is March and April. It's back and forth. It'll get hot, but every time it gets hot, it'll rain, so it cools it down. So it's a good weather. it'll rain sometimes. So the rain is good because it cools it down, but sometimes it can, you know, then it gets in the way. Why are you thinking about coming out here again?
Yeah, but it's going to have to be this time next year.
Okay, this time is good. Yeah, you came in June. You came. I remember one time in June in Phuket. It is of course here we get less rain. No, it's pretty good. This time of year is pretty good. I mean, it's hot. It gets hot sometimes, but not as hot as April or May.
Yeah, I think I'd come in that time instead of this March break because that
Yeah.
could stay a little, like at
Okay.
least 3.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. And it's better. I'd say yeah, March is kind of yeah, it's better than March. I think it's because it's March is dry, but it's a little too hot. And
Mhm.
so and so yeah, tell me a little bit more about your. I mean, yeah, you've got a good gig at the school. There's no reason to leave uh that and but at the same time you're also I see all your the amount of art, like you said, you're able to produce some of this art faster. Um, what kind of you always have these projects uh going on and ideas and then it's always your own style. That's what I like about you, and your methods are just, you know, you do things your way, and it's kind of unorthodox to a lot of people, but it works. And I mean, I have a similar one. Style. I have a similar lifestyle where it's just like, you know, our lifestyles are different, but we take control of it in a way that I think is inspirational. And I think, so I guess I want, well, there's 2 questions in there. What's next for you? And you've talked about some of your inspirations, or inspirational people like, you know, Coach Tamori and everything, and everybody. But, so my other question is, have you taken anyone under your wing, or I mean, you did mention people in the future that you've made a bigger impact on some of your students. Maybe do you have any art teacher or wrestling coach or somebody that's, or even if they used that mentality of taking control of their life and doing what they want to do, where you were their inspiration, like the number one inspiration?
Yeah. I had quite a few. I've had quite a few, probably at least 4 become certified welders,
Oh wow,
you
nice.
know, welding trade because I kind of let them be free, especially the early guys that start when I first got welders, like 12, 13, about 13 years ago. I had these pioneers. They're like auto shop kids, and they're in my
Oh,
class, and they kind of taught me stuff too with those wire feeders.
oh, nice. So
And
you actually have a welder at school,
I have 3 of them, yeah, but two,
and
only
you
one.
can, and
But I'm
students you're allowed. I mean, it's kind of dangerous. There's no. I mean, there's is that like senior, like advanced?
yeah, I do advance. I teach.
That's it, like for advanced students. Not yeah. You're not gonna.
I only teach a couple kids out of the
Okay.
paddock class,
Okay.
but yeah. So where were we going with this?
Well, great. Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah. So the inspiration of you've inspired some other.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah,
they've actually they're doing welding now. I mean, they're
yeah. And
as
then
a
I've had
job or as a
as a
lifestyle.
job,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Oh,
I
nice.
work for Coke,
Work
and
for
then I
what?
had what
Oh, what did you say? They work for what?
a commercial, like one's Chevron,
Oh,
one's
okay. Wow, nice.
I forget what the other ones were, but they make all good money. Um, and then I've had a couple of art majors, um,
Oh, okay.
tattoo artist.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah,
So yeah, that I mean that's I think I mean that's rewarding on its own. So yeah, the other question was yeah, what's next? I mean I guess this will be the final thing. What type? I know your art is taking over some you've pretty much owned some of those art galleries in the realm of I mean, you're producing some and your art is showcased in those. Um, any big news coming up, or any ideas that are whether it's art or not, anything? Yeah, what's next in any realm?
Um, well, I have a couple ideas. Uh, yeah, I mean, my ultimate goal is to get to a huge, like, the bigger show, the better.
Okay.
Like like a big gallery or a museum in San Francisco, the bit like something big, like get like
Okay.
where like people say, "Oh, that's a Jake Edwards." That's my
Okay.
ultimate.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, that's tough. But I don't know if I'll be able to make that. I mean, but I'm shooting for it,
Yeah, no, I think
and
that's attainable.
I'm young in the art realm, and I'm still able like to, as long as I keep myself in shape and get smarter, get better equipment, I'll be able to lift stuff better. You know, um, just building crazier stuff. That's the thing. Just try out do like for instance, I'm going to build a horse again
Okay.
because that they're popular. I can sell that fast,
Yeah.
and I believe I can. And then, long story short, I got to build it better than the other one. That's going to be tough because that one was good.
Yeah. That's not.
So that's my goal. So the thing is always trying to outdo your old project. That's a competitiveness coming out of me.
Okay.
But my what's next though is just to keep going, just keep making art,
Yeah.
and as long as I keep doing what I'm doing, it's going to keep opening doors.
So yeah, I was thinking of the next, like, I guess on I mean, you mentioned this railing, because that's kind of the I think about. I see sometimes like a big art pieces like at a mall in front, like some sort of thing. I mean, that would be the next, something so big that you can't uh move it in your truck, like get hired to actually make something on site. Is that something
Or
you'd want to do?
or you
Like, well, I mean, you're doing it right now with the railing. I mean, uh,
yeah.
is that the
Well,
is that like a next step type thing that artists are aspiring to do, or you are, or
well, yeah, I am going to be doing something big this year with the senior PATA class. I took over PATA. I'm the head guy now.
what's Pata?
That's a Public Art and Design Academy.
Oh, is that the
So
one? Is that where when I came over, went over across the street or something? Or
there are a lot of those kids in it, yeah.
okay,
But them there that was another class thing.
okay,
But yeah, a lot of those were PATA kids.
okay,
They're academy kids. But
okay,
I'm the sophomore. I've been in it for like a lot of years. The only time I switched was 2016 when I did the sculptures at the park. And so, anyways, I took over this year because the lady left. She went to another school. She got a job closer to her house, and so anyways, I'm taking took it over, and I told the city already that we want to do a sculpture. So we're
okay.
gonna do and I'm gonna
And
get new welding equipment. I'm gonna get a new plasma cutter. I'm in charge of all the monies, and
and
so
where is that going to be? And what is it?
oh, I don't know. I got to talk with these committee people.
Ooh,
Kids got to come up with the idea in the realm of what they want, kind of
okay.
on it.
Yeah, because I know you did do some artwork. What were they? Electric boxes or something? Design, or
Yeah,
that
I
was
did
like,
that for my, but our academy has done those, and they
okay.
actually want to do that this year coming up. And I said, no, I
Why
don't
not?
do electric boxes. I do
Okay.
sculptures.
Okay. Yeah. Because okay. That's, well. See, that's nice. You're always moving up, and of course you're. Hey, I mean, your whole school, all outside your classroom, the whole. I mean, that's amazing. All the brickwork and everything, and you've got sculptures laying out there. So yeah, I hope anybody listening to this, yeah, checks out. I'll show a link to some of your stuff. It's amazing. I mean, I've showed it to a lot of people. I've showed it to my aunt and uncle there, asking about it. I mean, it's truly, it is inspirational. I've never, yeah, I don't know anybody else that quite does it like you, so it's pretty impressive. Uh, what about so what about more distant future? So like I'm saying I've got this 20-year plan. I feel like well, I guess 19 now because I'm 41. I kind of look at my life in different sections, and I'm thinking, yeah, I feel like I'm going to be pretty strong till 60, like, pretty agile, doing a lot of yard work and stuff. Around 60 is when I kind of want to tone it down, do more just like make, I want to do any of the big hard labor stuff on my land in the next 20 years. And then I kind of looking to more relaxed, still maintain it, still exercise, still do my stuff. So where do you see yourself at 60 years old?
I would hope to be out of teaching by then, because I should be able to get out by then. If worst scenario, I have to teach till 60, and then I get a pretty good retirement.
Yeah.
And then, but I think I'll be out before then. But who knows? I might end up staying till the end. Things might change. We'll see.
Yeah.
But definitely gonna have like my own little art co-op somewhere. Just gotta find a good location where I can have like a gallery,
Okay.
outside sculpture garden,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
uh, art. So I give art classes there, adult classes.
Yeah.
Just keep busy,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be my next chapter, just doing that and then build that up. And then, but I want to do it somewhere where it's kind of like a vacation area too. So, I mean, Thailand, awesome.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, you could create something. Well, I'm way out in the wilderness. Yeah, I'd love to, you could have a little plot on my land to do something. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, there's something in there. Something. Yeah, I definitely want to coordinate things. I think there's the just got to be creative and think of like, yeah, how to combine forces and stuff and make it. I'm thinking about stuff for, yeah, what I was, yeah, I'm trying to think of like doing something, yeah, do a big project here on the land somehow, and then yeah, have work something out with uh where yeah, we you could live here and do something, the whole family would go out and do stuff. Yeah, this could be in the future. There's
Yeah.
definitely, so we could create something where yeah, good old fashioned landscape, like do some big project. But it would be nice, yeah, to invite other people and get it, but yeah, to make it fun. I want to do it in a way that's like I'm not trying to uh yeah, I want to win-win for everybody. There's definitely there's something there. I'm in this actually what this podcast is doing. I'm talking to a lot of people. I'm trying to create something. I don't know what it is yet, but there's something that can be had. Just throwing ideas out there. And so where you could say, I mean, you would consider living here, or of
Oh,
course
a
Mary's
pretty
from
good place.
Philippines or something,
I
or
would
would you,
want it if I did it there. I'd want to do it near a beach, so I get tourists
yeah, oh yeah, Phuket would be
and
perfect there.
a tourist attraction. They could come there and make something. I could
Absolutely.
already pre-made stuff. They paint it, take it home. I cook it for them. They come pick it up later.
Oh, that,
Or
yeah, no, Phuket would be, that's perfect. That no, that would, you could make that happen for sure. And then yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. And I mean, it's cheap enough. Yeah, you could have I mean, you could have multiple places. I mean, you could even have uh people running it when you weren't there or something like
I'm
it.
saying, yeah, I could do it soon. Like I have a little money stashed away too. I could probably do it through you, because I'd have to do it through you. Would be, and then we, because since you're a citizen there, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not, since I'm nothing, but I mean,
We'll
ISIS, of
use
course,
it.
I mean, my wife is Thai. No, no, you can never like, I don't think I'll ever, I don't, it's not easy like America where you can just marry somebody and get citizenship. And I like it. I mean, it's cool. I love Thailand, how Thai it is that, and that's why I was talking earlier that they are trying to attack. When I say they, I don't know who they are even, but they're trying to disrupt the culture. But Thai is like, they're lovely, as you know, like they're hospitable, and like they'll always treat me as a guest, but I'll never be Thai. I'll never be a Thai citizen or Thai. There is a path to citizenship, but it's so difficult and vague. So, but yeah, no, I mean, but that's actually what keeps the prices down, because there's no foreign investment. So, that if they let foreigners buy land and stuff, they'd buy it all up because it's so cheap, and then they wouldn't have their country anymore, and they lose their rights. So they've got a good system here. So yeah, I mean, ICE could get something, and then they can lease it, so it's legally yours for like 99 years or something. So you can, like, that's how all in Phuket, all of those restaurants and bars that are, you see like a foreigner, they say they own it. They don't actually own it. They own the deed for like 99 years. They can never own the property, but it's like they're able to operate their business. But in the end, it's always going to go back to a Thai person. And but anyway, yeah. So that's something we could definitely do it. And yeah, next time you're here, I think I'll be able to go to Phuket with you. Chai, I'll be older, and we'll do it big, for sure. So you're thinking this time next year, you might be able to do a 3-week trip.
Either that or March. I'd rather come.
Either way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather this one because
the whole fam coming, or you don't know so they're up for it.
We'll find out.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. Yeah. All right. Well, it's June 27th. That's Chris Adams' birthday, and I'm trying to get him on here. He came on. See, you're willing to do it. Just do it and see what happens. We did a pre version. He said, and then he says, okay, that's okay, you can post it. So I posted it. It wasn't the full version. I want to get a chat with him, but I want you to call out one person. So I already have Chris Adams lined up, and Elijah Rini I was talking to. Do you have anybody? Do you want to call someone out? Put somebody on the spot that I should interview?
Jesse Bash.
What?
Jesse Bash.
Jesse Bashan. I love it. I haven't talked to him in so long, so that would be great. Brian Holt. I would love to. Yeah. Do you have their contact information? Okay. When I get this link, you suggest it, give it to them, see if they're willing, and because I will. I want to keep this going, and posting and hopefully, yeah, if anybody else is doing the same thing, I'd love to join them on their podcast. When I'm here, I'm asking questions, but go ahead. I'll turn the tables. If you have any questions, you're welcome. You can ask me anything about something or anything. If you've got any questions, they can be. I'm not embarrassed about anything too. That's actually one of the things I guess one thing that I'm trying to create a lifestyle where I don't have to. Yeah, I don't want to ever have to hide from anything, or I promote open dialogue, and that's why I'll say controversial things, because I want somebody to like discuss something that is that they disagree with me about, or anything, as I move forward with this podcast, just trying to get something. So you have you want to put me on the spot, you can.
All right. You're always quite the partier, and then now you don't drink or anything.
Okay, that's true.
Do you ever miss it?
Wow, excellent question. That's an excellent question that I will answer. It's a good, well, see now. So let's go back when you know about it, because I was actually texting you that time, that time when I finally had, and for me, it's alcohol. That's the big one for me. I quit drinking, except I did have a, oh, did I have was that a beer with you, or some gin and tonic? Wow. That's the only time. Wow, that was that was a, oh, and then I ate some of those. Well, that's because I ate the weed things, huh? That's the only time I did. I did actually when I went back there too. Um, so you got me to come clean about those things. I guess that was the, so do I miss it? No, no, I don't per se, because it's, yeah, that drinking, that blackout, that there's just no, I tried too long in my life to beat that blackout. And for some people, there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of fun times, there's a lot of, definitely I could say I missed some, just going out and getting crazy, but I was younger then too. Jake is one of the people who had to hog tie me with duct tape, and I woke up duct tape in a bathtub, and I don't blame you for it, because I just gone, I guess I don't remember, blackout mode. I was using a knife cutting all these paper lanterns at Mark Sutter's house, and whatever else I was doing, just out of control, and I guess is the only way to stop me. So
I think it was Otto's idea about duct taping. Yeah.
I mean, it made sense, I guess. So, um, so there are these. I mean, there's crazy stories. I'm happy to like talk about it, and I don't want to glorify them, but it'll never be like that again. So I don't miss it like that. Like I did mention like mushrooms. I've never done the ayahuasca thing. I would like to do those. To me, those have always been. It's funny now, it's people are getting it, but I always said it back in high school when I first ate mushrooms and stuff. Like, it was always a spiritual experience. The only time it wasn't was when I left for some reason. I went somewhere, I went to a party, ended up like taking my jacket off and putting it in a fireplace for some reason. Whatever, too many people. I don't want to be with too many people and then end up getting in a fight or something. But so the question is, do I miss it? I mean, I it's fun to look back and talk about it. I actually, at this point, I'm not raising my son. I just don't, and my family, hopefully we have more children. I see myself as being pretty just able to not but yeah, maybe in the future when I'm 60, I could see my land being a perfect place to just eat some shrooms and that's the main thing. I guess it'd be that's what it'd be. It would be the psychedelic, but it'd be more so, yeah, not partying. No, parties, meth, no desire to do meth or cocaine or ecstasy, or drinking. Really doesn't. That's not for me. But yeah, maybe some psychedelics on the land, very spiritual experience, small group of people, get my hands on the ground. That's something. You want to join me for something like that here on the land someday? 60-year-old, and then yeah, then my son's old enough. I don't want to do it in front of him. I'm weird, and he's got a very good. I'd feel weird around him because he'd know I'm different, and he'd wonder why. I think it could disrupt his development in some way. So I wouldn't do that until he's grown. I think, but it's definitely in the future. So yeah, I've never joined any. My going cold turkey. Oh, I'll tell that story. Anybody that doesn't know, yeah, I was actually, yeah, I took my Japanese exchange students at the university that I was teaching at on this little field trip to the beach where they could interview foreigners, and totally a situation when I shouldn't go blackout. I thought I had, I'll just have one beer or as a Bloody Mary or oh no, it's a Long Island. That's what it was too. But and I remember, and I just become vegan because I've been vegetarian for as long as you know me, since I was 10. And then I remember that. I remember you. I said, yeah, I'm just giving up. And the reason I gave it up was because of that. I was actually trying to get Ice to become just a vegetarian. because it was easier to eat and cook and go out and we could share food and stuff. And so I showed her this video of like all the meat industry, and I had only watched part of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I didn't realize it was a vegan video that eventually they talked about milk and the egg industry. And so I showed it. She was like in tears when she was watching it, the first part, and then she wanted to keep watching it. And then it showed the milk industry and the eggs. So she went from eating meat to cold turkey. Like usually people go from vegetarian and then vegan. She's been vegan ever since that 6-7 years ago or whatever. And I remember telling you that I was going vegan, and then you said, "What are you?" Maybe you even called me a fairy cat and said, "Does that mean you're giving up alcohol too?" And then I said, "No," and I even showed that picture. I'm still drinking it. So, that day was the day that then I ended up blacking out. Woke up in jail, didn't know where my Japanese foreign exchange students were. Lucky turn of events that I was able to manage that because I had a good position at the university, and people talked to different people who kind of got me out of situations. But I was threatened. I've been deported out of Canada and Philippines and arrested in a couple countries and stuff, and realized it's not, I could get deported, lose my ability to be here. Wasn't married, didn't have chaya at that time, but of course I was with ICE for however several years, 4 or 5 years or something. And then and I realized that my whole livelihood and my whole, like, I found this is what I want, this is where I'm at, this is what I want to create my life here. One stupid little blackout, C. David blackout, where I just lose complete, it's not worth it at all. So I definitely don't miss that. Don't miss the putting myself in the position where I could lose everything that is so dear to me.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Strong.
Little fungus on the side. Little fungus sometime. Or I'd like to grow. Yeah, I'd like to figure out exactly the ayahuasca, the plants that I know it's 2 plants they mix together. Get those seeds, actually grow it here, and actually do it like do it. I'm definitely want to make it. Don't like it. I don't like processed things, so I definitely want to or find. I sometimes I eat different little things. Maybe I'll find one on my own that naturally occurs here, because I think whatever's native to the land is best. There we go. All right. So there it is.
We're done.
I guess so. We've got 5 minutes. If there's anything left to discuss, or I hope to do this again. I enjoy it. I think some people that know us will enjoy it. And who knows, maybe some people that don't even know us will listen and think like, hey, these guys are interesting. And then they can even join in if there's anything that we said that sparked interest or sparked fire. They can join the show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll spread the word, guys, tomorrow morning.
What's that?
I'll spread it. It's getting a little late. I won't text them tonight, but I'll text them tomorrow. Bastion
and Brian. Oh, okay, good, yeah. Excellent. All right, brother. Love you. I'll see you in the future sometime.
Yeah.
Keep in touch.
Yeah. Keep in touch, yeah.
Boom.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Boom. Peace.